like snacks. Probably everybody likes snacks. Maybe we just need a little bit more friction so that we don't eat quite so many snacks. If I could force myself to only have snacks when there were people around, like I had to coordinate with another person in order to eat that snack. It can't just be the honor system because that's too easy to just pull a snack out of a cabinet or a drawer. But what if I could build a cabinet that took 4 hands to open? A coordination cabinet. Try cutting a circle.
Alright, I did board it, so.
Coordination cabinet is a cabinet that requires 4 hands to unlock. The idea is you put something like the TV remote or snacks in there and one single person can't get them out. So you have to have a partner in crime. This project has been over a year in the making. I started out building this in cardboard just to try to see if I could even build the mechanism. And unfortunately, then I threw it out without even taking a picture of it. Whoopsies. Then I started building it in wood. But I don't really have the tools in order to do things like cut a circle out of plywood. So although it kind of worked, I decided I would rather the door be clear and that there might be a different way that I could do it. The idea is we're gonna have a door and we want there to be 4 different ways that this door is locked. But we can reduce that so we don't really need to have 4 different like separate locking pins. I have 2 pins, come in like this, and we're gonna have a gear in the middle. When this gear gets turned this way, this comes down, and the door opens. So that's pretty straightforward, but how do we keep this from moving? One way to do that is to block this right here. If we block this like that, and we put a knob here that is a gear, and we make another rack gear like this, now if this gets turned this way, this will move out of the way, and then this one would be able to turn. Basically, we want to do the same thing on both sides. Now we're pretty close. We've got 2 side knobs, so that's 2 hands. So we'll put a pretty strong spring, you know, like here, that makes that hard to turn. Okay, so now the last part is that middle knob. So my idea is that there's a middle knob here on this gray part, and on the outside of the cabinet, when you're facing it as a person, you're gonna pull up on some pins to be able to rotate it. So we wanna pull them up to be able to rotate that out. So that looks something like this. So we've got a big round knob on the outside, and there's gonna be a pin here that you have to grab, and a pin here that you have to grab. This whole thing can pivot. So it's gonna pivot around the middle, but what we want is we want a fixed cylinder here that has some space in it where this can sit. So now this knob can't turn until these are pulled up, or down in this case, and once they're pulled out of these notches, right, that will pull this out. And of course we would put a spring here. Once those are pulled up to get out of those notches, then this whole thing can turn. Now we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 different spots that have to be moved in order to open the cabinet door. This is gonna be so good. This needs a hole in it. That was a mistake. So we're gonna hand drill. There's a hole in my piece of plastic, in my plastic. There's a hole in my plastic, dear Liza, a hole. Finally, after a lot of fiddling, got this on. So the way this works is there's this knob, which moves that lever. There's this knob, which moves that lever. And then there's this in the middle, which turns the center gear. but it's stuck. You have to pull these out. You still can't turn it because these are stuck. So I actually don't know. I almost got it. Okay, there we go. So that's not good. I shouldn't be able to do it by myself. Let's see what happens when people try it.
So these can't turn because this can't turn because these are. Okay, you help me. I'll do this and then you twist a little. It's still in the way. Oh, I don't. Come on. Because it's not open yet. Though.
No, that is open. That's open.
Oh,
See, these are out of the way, so you'd be able to pull the door open now.
cool. Okay, I'm gonna try to throw this for a second.
Pull those out for it to turn. To get this to go, you have to pull that out. There's a thing in there
Oh.
that's stopping it. So that's why.
I didn't know.
Yeah, you have to do that part.
I did board it, so.
It took Cantor like a minute to get through it. The whole problem is it's very much like picking a lock. You can scoot this out of the way and you can turn this just enough to catch it. And if you can catch it, now you have a free hand because you don't have to hold this one. I have an updated version of the cabinet locking mechanism here. I pushed the locking mechanism bars over much further so they stick out much further over the locking bar. They have new springs, which are much tougher and were a little bit longer. So they're actually quite hard to turn now. I also, you can see, I took the, well, kind of you can see. I edited the corner off of this pin so that the little bearing on the end of these pins will roll up and down that slope, and I'm hoping that it'll make it a lot harder to open. So let's just go see what happens.
Did you just make these tighter?
No,
They're not.
I mean I did do that, but that's not the only thing I did.
hard. Yeah, I can't get it.
Can you do it with help?
Okay, let's, yeah, I'll turn it. Maybe I can't even do
Am I
it.
turning it the wrong way?
I think you're turning it though.
Okay, we go like this. Okay, I got that side and you got that side. Now you pull and we go. Okay. Here we go.
That's very awkward.
These little plastic bars that I was using to connect the knobs to the gears kept breaking. So I've switched to using some metal bolts. So my friend Lee at the hardware store helped me cut these down so that they're the right length. And then this one failed, but I'm waiting for a new one, but I'm printing knobs so that this will slide in and sit just inside the knob like that. And then this will go through the cabinet, and on the other end will be one of these guys so that I can tighten these screws here, and that will hold it onto the shaft of the screw of the bolt. I printed them so that they had space to just slide right over this and lock in place. I need to tighten these so they're out of the way so this doesn't fit, but you get the idea. This should take a lot more torque. And I'm still getting the hang of the 3D printer, of this new printer, so you can see this edge is a little weird and it's got some artifacts here. Still working on getting it, but so again, I set the bolt into this big handle. I'm still using the same little pull bars because they were fine, but I did reinforce these so that they're bigger and thicker. And so now this should be ready to go. So let's look at getting this on and getting it all lined up.
That's true. This is a little unfair at this point.
There's nothing. Yeah, I can't even get this on. Just.
Yeah, now it's open, yeah.
Okay. See? You
I
got
do
it.
feel like it could benefit from some little handles.
It's not supposed to be easy.
Okay.
At this point, it's time to build and mount a cabinet door. Basically, I'm building a picture frame, but I need to put a notch in it so that the plexiglass or the clear acrylic can fit in between what I create. And of course, I broke a Dremel router bit doing this. Now just glue up and off we go. Oh, and some notches for all of the 3D printed pieces to fit in. So last weekend, when working on the cabinet, I broke three different screw heads trying to put it through the wood. Oh, how can these be all? Two of the three screws are stuck, and now I have to figure out how to get them out. I bought some special screws, or better screws, to hold the frame together, because it's these two pieces. Bought some special screws to hold the... And now the power's out. I guess I'm done working on this for now. The cabinet is together, have the frame all attached around the plexiglass. The hinges are working great. I'm just really not using the right screws for this because I keep breaking screws in this wood frame. But you know what? It is together, and there's no reason for it to come apart at this point. I just need to design and print new little hooks for the latches, see how this goes into the cabinet. So the problem that I'm having is that when I close the door, it doesn't quite close. And part of the problem is this cabinet that I'm on isn't square. Other part of the problem is that these hinges could stand to be further forward. All right, so here we are. We've got the hinges on the door, and we're gonna put it in. And I really hope it works this time. Ha! One cabinet door, ready to go. Yes, I did it. No faith. Hi, Java. This is my cat, Java. She's helping. It's pretty good. Yeah, I'm not a very great
You're not a great cabinet
hanger. It's in three-handed mode right now.
Oops.
There, now you should be able to open it.
There's one unfortunate failure mode with this cabinet.
Yeah, I know, but yeah, I know. For now,
No, yeah, that's great.
it's there. Put this box in the back. So now you won't be able to get your hand around the side very much. You'll run into the box. Now we'll stack things in here. Chips. These 2 bottles of milk. Things. How's it look? It looks great. There's all kinds of stuff in there. Now we close the door and we lock it up. There's now snacks in a cabinet and the cabinet's locked. So we're gonna call that a success for now. Yeah, it's pretty great. Coordination cabinet, go. Coordination cabinet, ready. Coordination cabinet, locked. I don't know.